What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So I have a great video for y'all lined up today talking about how you can send your very own trading cards to CGC, cut out the middleman, streamline the process, expedite the turnaround time, and save money on grading your cards. You can do all of this yourself. It is very, very simple. I'm also going to cut out all of the monotonous information. So if you need some extended information, if you want to be coached and mentored through the process, I will help you out. I will mention my Instagram towards the end of this video, so feel free to reach out to me. No cost, no strings attached. I will help you out. So stay tuned for that. So as we talk about grading cards, right? And the first thing you have to ask yourself first is, why do I want to grade my cards? And usually two things come into our minds. One is if you are an investor or a collector, right? So do you want to invest into the hobby? Are you trying to make money short-term, long-term? Are you an investor? Also a collector. Maybe you're not really worried about the money. You just love the cards. You love the hobby. You might want a whole base set of Pokemon framed in your house one day. Maybe you want PSA 1 to PSA 10 or CGC 1 to 10 of a specific card, and you want to have all of them for your collection. That is also okay. The second thing that usually comes to mind when you want to grade cards is somebody who says, you know, I just want something that's budget friendly. I want to encapsulate and protect all of my cards. And generally it's somebody who just, you know, these were childhood cards. These have sentimental value, and you want to make sure that you can protect them and encapsulate them for the long term. That is also okay. So as we get into this process, I'm going to run you through a few key things, because the next piece, you have to understand which cards you want to send in. And generally, you want to make sure that they are pretty much pristine. They have no issues whatsoever, unless you're sending them just for your collection and you don't care about selling them in the future. You just want it graded. So when you're looking at your cards, there's a few things that you have to look at, right? There's actually a lot of things you have to look at. And you can see how torn up these cards are right here. You have a whole bunch of issues with this Charizard, right? It was just put on the back of a bike and just beat up for years, and this is what it looks like now. So you do not want this, right? You're looking for any kind of print lines. You're looking for any kind of issues on that card. As far as centering, you want to make sure it's good top to bottom, left to right. You want to make sure that there's no kind of soft corners. There's no dings. There's no bends. There's no tears. There's no dirt, grime, dust, fingerprints on that card. And that also means you have to clean the card. So if you want to clean the card, I also touched that in the other video, the PSA video that I'll have down in the description below. But you can do this yourself with a microfiber cloth, or you can just slightly breathe on the card and use a paper towel, a brand new clean paper towel, of course, and make sure in small circles and very slowly that you wipe off the smudges and the fingerprints on that card. You want this card to be pristine, like it came pack fresh out of the pack wrapper, right? Out of the booster pack. So when you do that, also bear in mind, when you send your cards in, you have to send it in a top loader, a magnetic holder, a card saver, something of that sort, right? You also want to have a penny sleeve. You always want to put your cards in a penny sleeve. As soon as you get a card out of a booster pack, put it in a brand new penny sleeve, right? Put it in a penny sleeve and you will have no issues with that. When you put it in a top loader or whatever have you at home, that is okay. But when you send them into a grading company, I would highly recommend, and they also recommend, that you send them inside of a card saver, specifically a card saver 1. And the reason why I say that is because they are way, way less rigid. So here's an example of a card saver 1. At the top, it is very clear. It says card saver 1. You also have card saver 2s, and you have a bunch of other holders that are just like this, but a different brand, which is okay. You can use those as well. The point is that these are not so rigid where you're going to bend your card, or the grader is going to tear your card up trying to put it in or trying to get your card out of here. You do not want to do that. So when you buy all of this stuff right here, you want to have brand new card savers and brand new penny sleeves. Do not take cards out of old ones and put cards you want to have graded into the old card savers and penny sleeves. And the reason why you do not want to do that, of course, is because you're going to already have dust, maybe some dirt. There's going to be some stuff in those older ones that you may have missed, unless you tend to team bag all of your cards, which is what I try to do if I'm going to have them sitting for a long time. You want to team bag your cards. But when you ship them off, you want them in brand new stuff. So also, this is something I wanted to show you. So this is a Patrick Mahomes card right here. And when I say left to right, top to bottom for centering, this is what you're looking at. Like PSA is like 60, 40%. So it can be a little bit to the right, left, top, bottom. But if it's too much, they're going to dock you. And oftentimes they will dock you on the grade. So you want it to be as centered as possible. And of course, a lot of cards like these Pokemon full arts are kind of hard to tell if they're centered or not. But a lot of these sports cards are a little bit easier to tell because the borders are basically easily identifiable, right? So you have this Patrick Mahomes card, and if you didn't know, they actually have centering tools. So like this set right here, you actually can buy a centering tool, and at the top right, you see a jeweler's loop, and this is what jewelers use, but you can also use this magnifying glass, which they have really strong technology, these grading companies, but this will help you out because they put this stuff under machines, which is you're not going to see all of these errors with the naked eye. So sometimes you might get your card back, it may be a 6 or 7, and you really thought it was a 10. And sometimes it's because the machinery that they use is going to detect stuff that a naked eye cannot see. But this jeweler's loop, especially under an LED light, a very bright light, will help you see any kind of surface scratches and stuff on the card you may have missed. Let's go ahead and move to the website. Now you're on cgccards.com. This is the official website. The first thing you have to do is create an account. You can create an account for very, very quickly, right? It's very quick to create one. And the bottom line price is like $25. And that's per year. So you go ahead and create your account, and you got to pay $25 if you want to submit cards to CGC. So once you create your account, once you buy whatever tier that you would like to have, your yearly tier to submit cards to CGC, then you get on your page right here. And at the top right on this banner is going to say My CGC. You click on that. The third thing you're going to see is My Submissions. Click on that. Once you click on My Submissions, this screen is going to come up. You're going to go to the bottom where it says Submission Forms for CGC Trading Cards Online Form. It's going to be outlined in red. Click on this right here. And then it's going to bring up your online form. It says, My card, your card is empty. Press the Start New Order button to begin. So this yellow button right here, Start New Order, click that. Once you click that, this is a 5-step process. Services, cards, review, shipping, and payment. Very, very easy process. Okay, so the first thing you see is trading card. This is what we want to submit to CGC. Now, the bottom, select submission method, mail-in or show drop-off, show on-site grading. We do not have show on-site grading. We do want to mail these cards in, so we're going to go ahead and click mail-in or show drop-off. Once you click that, these are the options that you are going to have: grader, crossover, reholder, and you have mechanical errors. So we're going to focus on the top 3, primarily the left one that says grading. But the crossover is if you had a card that was submitted to PSA, Beckett, or CG or SGC, and you want to have it crossed over to CGC, right? So you want to have it pulled out of that old slab and put into a CGC slab. Now, I would not highly recommend this. And the reason why I say that, because CGC has been known to grade very stringent. And that means they have a higher standard of grading. So generally, people who cross over grades are going to go from something like CGC back to PSA. Right? That's what you want to do. Potentially, if you have a perfect 10 with CGC, possibly to Beckett to see if you can shoot for a black label, which is like a unicorn to have, because that's going to have the best ROI for your cards. So you also have reholder. So say you had a card in a CGC slab and it broke, you dropped it, and you just want to have it regraded with the same grade, then you can do that, right? They can re-encapsulate your card. And then to the left side, you have grading, just standard grading. So you want to agree to the online waiver and consent to remove collectibles from holders. Go ahead and do that. Also, bear in mind, grading companies are not sending back your equipment, right? So if you send, or your supplies. So when you send your cards and these card savers and stuff like that, you're not going to get them back. And also, do not send your very fancy magnetic holders and everything like that, because you won't get them back either. You want to go ahead and select your tier. Bulk submission is if you have 50 or more cards, right? So 50 minimum. Maximum value, $250 per card. So I am not going to do this. Let's just say we want to stick right now with economy, which is maximum value of $500 per card, but you're going to pay $25 per card. So we go ahead and click that. And then we want to click subgrades. I would highly recommend adding subgrades. You do not have to add subgrades. PSA does not have subgrades, but I'm telling you they help because it shows very clearly what each part was graded. So for example, if I pull over a CGC card that was graded, your subgrades are going to say stuff like centering, surface, corners, and edges. And this really adds value to the card because people are interested in having subgrades because they may want to submit it to Beckett or submit it to PSA. And the only way they can tell if it's close enough to potentially get a higher grade is seeing what actual subgrades you have. So we do want subgrades. That will add an additional $10 per card. And then you want to go ahead and add trading card. Now, right here, we're on step number 2, right? So we have cards. So we're going to go ahead and put card lookup. And I'm going to, let's just type in Charmander, and we're going to put Stormfront. And we can see right here, it just comes up. So we have the Stormfront Charmander. We're going to go ahead and look at the card number. We have 101 of 100, and that's what this is right here. So we have the holo version, and it's in English. So 2008 Charmander 101 over 100 Stormfront holo in English. Make sure you get the right card, right? You want to make sure you get the right card. So pedigree, add a pedigree to the certification label to indicate a card's past or present ownership. You can add pedigree to a card yourself, typically without providing any documentation. I wouldn't recommend doing this unless, you know, you want to keep the card. I don't want somebody else's pedigree on my card. It's just a preference. And then you're going to put the quantity, how many you have. So say we have 1, your declared value. So your declared value is going to be the best estimate of the fair market value of this card based on a recent purchase price of this card, auction results, a bona fide purchase offer, or other reasonable method. So basically what this is saying is whatever you can buy the card at right now. So if I can go on eBay and I can buy this card raw in its condition for around $50, that is what my declared value is going to be. So I'm going to put $50. Add trading card. All right, so right here is going to show me, mail in or show drop off, trading card, the summary, Pokemon 2008 Charmander 101 over 100 Stormfront holo English for $50 declared value, quantity of 1, and the fee is going to be $35, and we're going to have shipping to be determined with a $5 handling fee, totaling $40 right now. All right, so we are good to go on that. We want to go ahead and review our cart. So we're going to add our shipping address. And basically, after you add your shipping address, all you have to do is print out the forms, make your payment, and you're going to put your submission form inside of the box. Now, with PSA, you actually get a little barcode that you're going to put on top of the box, but not with CGC. With CGC, you're going to literally print your shipping label, and you're going to put one inside of the box. Just ensure that you have a copy for yourself as well. Now, when it comes to packing the cards, like I said in my PSA video, it's very thorough. Basically, you want to have all of your stuff in brand new supplies, and however many cards and all the variants you have, when you put them in order, you want to make sure you put them in order, right? So if you have 10 Charmander Stormfront holos in English, you want to have all of those together, and then you're going to move to your next card. Whenever you finish your shipment form, you want all of those cards to be in the same order that you have them on your shipment form. This makes it easier for the graders to go through your cards, which tends to expedite the process, and it may also alleviate them from getting pissed off at you, okay? So you don't want them to get upset at you and lower your grades for any reason for having a bad day. So once you do that, you want to go ahead and put all of your cards that are in card savers between 2 pieces of cardboard, basically just like you ship them to anybody if you were to sell a card on eBay, and you want to make sure this cardboard is a little bit bigger of a square or of a rectangle than what your card savers are, because you have to put rubber bands around the cardboard to protect the cards and keep them together. And doing so, the cardboard is going to take the pressure from the rubber bands since it's a little bit bigger. If you make the cardboard too small, the rubber bands are going to put pressure on your card savers and it's going to damage your card. So do not do that. So once you do that, put your stuff inside of a box, put the shipping label in there. Too easy, right? The shipping label is going to have the address that you have to send it to, send it there. All of this right here, when you put all of your cards in, it includes insurance. You do not have to worry about that. And you are good to go. You're ready to ship your cards. Make sure you have no loose air in the box. Put some bubble wrap in there, some peanuts, whatever you want to put in there. Not actual peanuts, right? Packing peanuts. And you want to make sure when you shake it around, you don't hear anything. And just make sure your cards are protected and they're not beating themselves around, getting bent up. ship your cards in, track the process online, you are good to go. If y'all have any questions about this video, just reach out to me. My Instagram is invest_daily21. You can reach out to me, follow me, add me, ask any questions you have. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see y'all again soon. Out.